Welcome to More Artistry Unearthed. We are Cryptic Tattoo and Social Gallery here in Springfield, Missouri. And with us is a very special guest, somebody that we've been trying to bring on for quite a while. We bebop around a lot of the local conventions, actually not even just the local ones. But Kandyland has joined us. Very talented, amazing tattoo artist all the way from
Clarksville, Tennessee.
Clarksville, Tennessee.
Yeah, you've been around for a little bit, accent.
I have to. It goes with it.
Right? Yeah. Which I did not actually expect, because I know that you bebopped around a few major cities before, even Puerto Rico, right?
Yes.
And then so which is an interesting story, like, and I mean, since you were really young, but I guess Tennessee wasn't on my radar as far as where, I mean, I could have asked though. I could have actually, like, asked questions like an adult instead of just assuming. But yeah, so it's pretty interesting, like, how you've navigated from city to city. And when did tattooing start?
So I've been getting tattoos since I waited till I was 18 to get tattooed in an actual shop. And tattooing for me started when I used the fact of getting tattooed to save my emotions, because I don't do well with emotional distress. So every time something major would happen to me when I was a teenager, I would just go get a tattoo about it. Unfortunately, at a young age, I would, self-harm, and because I would rather feel physical pain than emotional pain. I know a lot of us out there have that problem and won't admit it, but tattooing saved my life, getting tattoos. And I've always admired the art of tattooing. But I was always afraid to pursue that passion, because since it meant so much to me, I was afraid to ruin someone else's skin and cause them harm in their life. So it took me a while to pursue my passion of tattooing. That started at the age of, what am I now, about to be 43? It's going to be 3.5 years now that I've been tattooing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, like I'm really taken by that.
Yeah.
I expected a bigger number. Like at least 10.
No,
but
sir.
Damn.
So
I applaud that. That's amazing.
I have a bachelor in fine arts.
Okay.
I did go to college for art, but that's not the way that's not the way I wanted my life to go. I actually went to college for business management. I was going from dead-end job to dead-end job, and I've always had issue with management because it was just always horrible. So I told myself, stop complaining and do something about it. So I was like, I'm going to go to college, and I'm going to go to business management so I can train managers on how to be great at what they do. A semester in, I unfortunately fainted and was rushed to the hospital. I was diagnosed with stage 3A cancer. It's called follicular lymphoma. It is a blood cancer, and it invades my lymph nodes. This cancer is very rare in me because it only is supposed to happen in very old people or very young people, and they don't live past 10 years with this disease. So there's no statistical data as to my life expectancy or anything much. I'm pretty much a guinea pig to the hospitals. So I didn't want to quit college. I started at 30 years old. It was very late in my life, but I didn't want to quit. It was something I started and I didn't want to quit. I asked the doctor, what do I do at college? He said, that's up to you. I said, challenge accepted. Accounting was so horribly stressful. I was like, I want to still go to school, but what for? My family's like, you doodle with art. Why don't you just go to school for art? Like, it's therapeutic and you don't have to quit and you get a degree. And, because seriously, they thought I was on my way out the door. I had 3-inch tumors all around my neck, around my spleen, spine, aorta, around my groin. It was cutting off oxygen supply, and that's why I had fainted to begin with. I just didn't want to sit at home and just deter away. So I switched my majors from business management to art. I didn't even know I was an artist. I took it as a last resort in case I did go away. And as I'm taking these classes, I'm using past traumas in an artistic way. And then as I'm taking courses, I found out I was an artist. I graduated with a 3.8 GPA. And I took chemo treatments through 4 years out of the 4.5 years that I was in college.
Wow.
I did chemo for 6 months, and then another set of chemo for maintenance for 2 years. Because the thing with my cancer is it will come back.
Yeah.
2 different ways. One way, very slowly, it'll only attack my lymph nodes as my lymph nodes filtrate my blood. Or it could go the opposite way and start attacking all my organs. And then that will go fast. That would put me out really fast. So Gladly, the evil that I've been dealing with is the slow growing one. It grows very slowly by the millimeters.
Right. I'm going to knock on some wood for you.
Yes, sir. hmm And so for 13 years, every 6 months I go to the hospital. I get checked, my blood work, talk to my oncologist, and then every year I get a full CT scan. And I've been doing that for 13 years, and I would do that for the rest of my life.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a wild process. From the outside looking and watching, you know, like we have another close friend who actually found himself in art. And he's always been an artist, but as far as, you know, tattooing and stuff, he was diagnosed with like stage 4 cancer. And it's just like, just hearing the stories, it's the process. You don't hear about the ins and outs, and just like
No.
how much you have to dedicate, like, you know, driving to another city like 3 times a week, 4 times a week for these intense treatments.
But you know what? Just, I mean, even aside, it's that aspect that a lot of people don't understand that people like us are sick.
Yeah.
And we're not talking sick in the head.
A little bit of
We're
that.
just a
It's
little bit,
okay.
yeah, a little bit of that. But it's the illnesses, the chronic illnesses that you don't physically see,
Right.
and they don't understand that we walk around with these issues
Mhm.
every day, and we're in our heads every day about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a constant reminder. They just don't understand that we think about this on a daily basis, along with our normal
Yeah.
day-to-day routines. You know, these are things that we have to deal with, you know, whether they're chemo treatments, injections, you know, what have you. There's things that we deal with on a daily basis, but yet find that release through art.
Mhm.
That
Oh, yes.
when we sit down and we do what we do, that all goes away.
Mhm.
We're now something that we've always wanted to be, and we don't have to worry about anything else, because all we care about is what's in front of us
Absolutely
at that
correct.
time.
Definitely-
I learned that from my mom. My mom told me that one day when I tattooed her. She was when I was really sick, and she says, "You know what?" She says, "I see a difference in you when you work." And I said, "What do you mean?" She was
You're
like,
quiet. No.
she says, "You know what? No, it's not even that." She says, "You know what? You become a whole different person. It's like you're not even sick." And I said, "Really?" She was like, "No, I see that. You definitely take on a different persona. Like, you just don't have a care in the world anymore."
Mhm.
And when I'm done, those cares come back, and I think about them every day, every single day. I wake
I mean,
up.
even it's only in hindsight that I realized just how, you know, like, because I met you in towards the end of your, you know, before you actually got, you know, treatment, and it's only in hindsight that I'm just like, man, that dude is Walking Dead. Like, you just, from the David back then to the David now, it's just
Right.
wild, and you're still
Mhm.
not done. You still got a
No.
ways to go, you know. But it's like, you know, I would not have assumed at all, especially now that you were dealing with stuff. I would have never assumed.
You
I
would- yeah,
there was
because
I
people,
mean,
it's the unseen
Mhm.
chronic illness that we deal with
Yeah.
every day that people don't realize, and it opens your mind to other things and people, to where you just don't understand, like, how a person's acting. Maybe they're just maybe they're just in their head, maybe they're dealing with
Mhm.
something heavy like we've dealt with, and
Mhm.
you don't ever stop to realize that those are real things.
and
you
those
know?
things probably set like a new benchmore of what matters and what doesn't
Mhm.
anymore.
Oh,
Like,
for
Oh,
sure.
you're able
absolutely.
to
Oh,
just
my
like, you know
When
what,
your
honestly, that's not
mortality
that
is
big of a
questioned,
deal.
absolutely.
Yeah, my mortality was questioned 3 times in this lifetime, and I am at peace. There's no one that can break my peace because of that. Like, there's not, like, yeah.
That's good. I
Do
applaud you.
No one can come into my life and break it apart or tell me
You know,
otherwise.
It's weird, is it, of the 2 times that I've nearly, you know, died from something rather serious. Like, it wasn't until like recently when my wife got really sick that I got like, it hit me, and I was like, you know, nothing actually really matters. And I don't mean that in like a depressed way. It's just like
No.
suddenly and it wasn't even about myself. It was about her. Like I said, I can deal without me, but I can't deal without her.
I
And
say
that's, you know,
memory over materialistic things. Memory over matters for me. Like, it's
Yeah.
all about the memories.
Creating good stuff.
Leaving my legacy behind on these people that trust me with their skin. You know,
Mhm.
I take very good pride in that. Like, in my shop, all my clients will tell you, like, the number one thing is I am very grateful that they chose me to alter their skin for the rest of their lives. I will lose a sale because I will not lie to any of my clients at all, ever, because I don't want them regretting Kandyland. I would not be able to sleep at night knowing I did someone wrong. That's the kind of person I am.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. If you deserve my wrath,
You're right.
if
And
you
every
deserve
bit of
it,
that.
oh, I'm gonna have a field day with you.
Right.
You know, I would like you hear these stories of these people getting mugged and this person getting hurt. Sometimes, like, why don't anything happen? Like, I want to give somebody their taste of their own medicine someday.
Right.
You know, because some people just deserve
that.
it.
You know, and I and maybe I'm speaking from privilege, but more often than not, I get to see the trash take itself out. And it's like if I just maintain, but I'm not typically a target to begin with. So that's privilege that I'm coming from. But it's just like, you know what? No, that's cool. You be cool. You do cool. Your cool's gonna run out. And I'll be here, and I think you know it. It's fine. Go ahead, show your ass. Like that's. Like,
Oh yeah. Sometimes certain people will just my higher power. You know what? My higher power is going to take care of you. You know, because I am a spiritual person, and I do feel like I'm a chosen one. There's so many things that happened to me in my life that are unexplainable. Like when I got in my car accident and had hit the windshield, I died. I saw the white light, and my son who had passed told me it wasn't my time to go yet. And no matter how close I tried to get to him, I just woke up in the ambulance. You know, last year, 24, I was on an operating table. No one knew about this. I was on the operating table for a full hysterectomy, right? Because I got some uterine problems. Doctors put holes in my stomach instead of removing my uterus. A general surgeon had to come in and save my life. They were doing a robot assist.
jeez.
Yeah, and instead of, so our uterus is below our belly button. Well, this particular doctor decided to make incisions above my belly button, and he was in my stomach. He didn't even know he was there. So then he called in a general surgeon. He didn't know where he was at either, based off of the visual of the robot. So when he got scrubbed in and he moved things around, he's like, "You're in her stomach." And so he had to quickly slice my abdomen from my belly button up to my rib cage, pull out my stomach, repair those 2 holes, put it back in. They glued my stomach back together. Now, mind you, before this operation, I told my doctor, I have all these tattoos, but there's only one tattoo on my body that means that it's priceless. And that is the memorial of my son. Okay. And I had put him on my stomach. The last place he lived alive. They sliced right through.
Oh, no.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. And when I woke up and I was told that the surgery didn't happen, I about freaked out. And then I was told that, and I was like, let me see what they did to me. When I looked at my scar, I felt as if he had died all over again. Like that pain I felt when he died the first time, I felt it all over again the second time.
Oh my God.
And then the doctors come to tell me, oh, well, my stomach moved, or the oxygen they were putting in my face made my stomach move.
That's not how bodies work.
Right.
That was the excuse I got.
No.
Yeah,
No.
that was the most recent traumatic experience I've had. Yeah, and they gave me these. Well, we tried to nicely glue your tongue back together again. And I was like, well, if you weren't fucking up there, you wouldn't have had to done that. You know, that wouldn't have been so. But since then I have replaced him somewhere else. I feel I'll never feel good about it, but yeah, that was very traumatic for me too.
So art
That's awful.
has changed your life and
As a whole, all the way around.
brought you better things. Where did you go and apprentice at?
Yeah. How was your apprenticeship?
So I did it differently. I tried to gain apprenticeships, but being at my old age, like I couldn't find a shop that didn't want to. I can be raw, right? Every shop I wanted to go to, the owners wanted to fuck. They wanted to take advantage of me, you know? And I couldn't find an apprenticeship where I could just solely start from the bottom. I wanted to do the sweeping and the setting up and the machines. And, you know, I wanted to do all that because I believe you should start from the fucking bottom of the ladder, you know, especially if you're trying to make it to the top. I don't believe in privileges. I don't believe in handouts. I don't believe in, oh, well, you're so-and-so, so let me put you up here. No, make me work from the bottom so I know how everybody feels. So I want to know every aspect of it. You know, I lost track. Where were we?
Your apprenticeship.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
that in Tennessee?
So I tried in Tennessee. I tried in Cincinnati because I did a little gypsy life and stuff. And I just couldn't find anybody. So there is an artist that is an old head in the industry. He has passed away. And I went to him for advice. He had been in the industry for so long. I respected him as a whole. And I asked him for advice. And I told him, I was like, I can't find any industry. So I went down to Florida and I went and checked out a tattoo school. Now, I didn't finish it or I didn't go through it or nothing like that. I just went to go check it out to see what it was about. I walked through the facility. I met the people who owned it. I met the people who they had as teachers. And I was upset. I was fucking mad. And just the fact that I was upset that that was what they had to offer for schools, I knew that this is where I needed to be. I knew that if I had an emotional reaction to how that worked out, I knew that that this was for me. So I left and I just started tattooing. I started tattooing myself. I went on the road and tattooed friends and family. After speaking with that individual, he's like, you got to do it, how you feel best. And he's like, I know you. You're not going to go and scratch in some kitchen. I know you're not going to go and do something unorthodox. He's like, you do what you need to do, and I will be here to back you up. And unfortunately, he died, I want to say maybe about 2 years ago. And he's from Clarksville, Tennessee. His name was Wolfie. From Clarksville, Tennessee. Okay. Awesome individual. At least to me, I don't care how how everyone else feels about him, but to me, he was great.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, we had so many conversations about cancer, about life. Like he was really, he was a mentor to me before I even got into the industry. Put it that way. Mm-hmm. So then I finally. After I did all that and figured out that this is where I wanted to be, I went back to Clarksville, Tennessee, and I started apprenticing with a shop there called Death Do Us Part. I did about 6 months with them. I actually had an actual apprenticeship. I went and did the paperwork and everything. I did the sweeping and I did the answering of the phones.
You're like, yay, I'm sweeping.
Yes, I emptied everybody's trashes out. I even built a quarter wall for him because my construction background, and I was like, what you need built around here? I want to be an asset to you, I cooked for them, man. Let me tell you, I was in there first one in, last one out. Type of thing. I wanted to be the only one. I wanted to feel all that. 6 months in, unfortunately, I just didn't feel like that place was a fit for me. I wasn't being taught much. I was finding myself tattooing more and learning through my failures in tattooing versus being taught something. Yeah. And it just wasn't a good fit for me, so I had to leave there. And then I want to say after that, I found another little shop. It wasn't good, and then I came to Springfield. I did an apprenticeship with Next Generation. And John and them over there, they treated me great, and I want to say about 6 months there. And then I went back to Tennessee. I've been moving around a lot. I really didn't have any stability, and I'm going to be admitful about that. Like I didn't have no after my marriage. I didn't know who the fuck I was. After I left that marriage, I didn't know who I was. I just left to figure out, where I was supposed to be. And I did a lot of moving around, and I did myself an injustice because I couldn't sit down and consecutively tattoo and learn the art of tattooing. I was moving around from city to city to city, and I did myself an injustice. So I finally parked it in Clarksville again, and opened up my own shop. My own little private studio. It's just me, myself, and I. In that place, and I've been able to consecutively tattoo and just focus on tattooing and not focus on anything else in the world. I don't regret how I've came into the industry because I've made positive relationships throughout the nation. I've made positive relationships in Puerto Rico, and I don't regret any of that. I don't.
How long have you had your studio then? How long has it been now?
So I just hit my 6 month mark.
Right on. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't been very long because I tried another shop beforehand. I'm not going to speak on that because it was a very bad situation. I gave them my all, and then one day I got told to leave. I built them. I remodeled the shop. 5 whole days. Remodeled with another client. I asked a client who was capable of doing construction, remodeled the shop, and week 2, I don't even freaking remember. It was such a blur. I thought I had 3 years security, and I was just asked to leave again. I was like, you know what? There was just no option to work for anyone else. I dislike to cut throat.
It's tough to find a good, solid place to plant your feet.
It is, and it happens everywhere. It's human nature, I guess. I don't know what to call it anymore. I just know it happens more than not. And to each his own, but we shouldn't be that way. No. Like we should feed off of each other when it comes to art. I'm not going to specifically say what apprenticeship did this, but I actually had an apprenticeship where they would tell me how to do things the wrong way.
Like, as in they knew?
Tattooing. Yes, they knew that they would tell me how to tattoo someone the wrong way.
Did they think it was funny? Like, why?
Because they just okay, we'll put it this way.
Is that like a hazing joke?
I guess. It wasn't a joke, but it's more of a, let's set this chick up for failure. I have no idea.
But, I mean, that would reflect badly on them, though.
Do you think they were ignorant, or do you think they knew the right way and
they wanted me out. They wanted me out. Why?
So they purposely set you up.
Oh, for sure. Like, think of this. Everyone has what they do best, right? And they stick to that. To each his own, stick to that. But I wanted to be a jack of all trades when it came to tattooing, because in the future I have some ideas that I want to put forth. That whole thing about me using tattooing as a self-healing mechanism, well, I kind of wanted to do something like that for other people.
Right.
So I wanted to learn how to do all styles. So whenever something walked in the door, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it. They would be like, nah, that's not for me. Nah, that's not for me. Oh, I only do color. I only do anime. I'll do it.
Right.
So I got to the point where my clientele went up. I was always busy. I was more tattooing than I was on the phones. So it got to a point where, okay, well, and then I started realizing that, like, this one specific tattoo, it was on the back of the neck, like somewhere back here. I was like, hey guys, how do you guys think I should tattoo this? Well, and they had me lay her down. And it just wasn't even right. Like, I had a better time with her sitting with her neck forward, stretching that area out.
Right,
I was
yeah.
able to get crispier lines that way. They would lay her down on her tummy. But when I tried to stretch, it was so awkward because her head kept getting in my way.
Right.
So myself, I was like, no, this isn't right. This doesn't feel comfortable. I was like, you know what? Sit up for me. She'd sit up. She'd put her head forward. And I was like, this is how you do it.
Opens up that area.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like they were just dumb. or at least, I mean,
No, that's just cruel.
Yeah.
Based off of their work, no.
Yeah.
Based off of the work that they're capable of, like, no, come on now. Like, no,
That's
that was
fair.
something that simple. And that was the main one that I remembered, that I was like, that's the main one where I was like, hold on, wait a minute.
yeah, that just seems like bad advice. I don't know.
And then another thing that made me upset is I have a bachelor's in fine art. I don't use the bachelor's in fine art to take work from anyone else because I'm in competition with myself, no one else. I want to be better than I was yesterday, right? I was told that I can't tell people that I have a bachelor's in fine art because that made everyone else feel like they were an artist.
Well, then too bad. I mean,
Well,
tough.
then go
be
to
better.
school.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say. Go
That'd
to
be
school.
like telling David he can't tell people he's got, 27 years or whatever experience, because then the people that have 2.5 years will feel sad. I was like, no, you worked for that. You earned that.
Yeah, like
You can tell people that.
Y'all just heard my story, what I went through when I was in college.
Yeah.
I almost died obtaining that degree, and I used it to help me. Like, if it wasn't for a degree, I don't know where I would be at right now. That
Right.
Going to college, sitting on a pottery wheel was a big outlet for me when you're dying inside, right?
Yeah.
Your insides are being eaten alive. And so I would use college to have someone who was supposed to watch out for me tell me, oh, well, don't tell people you have a degree.
yeah.
I'm just like,
That's like going and getting a degree and going and filling out an app and then not putting it down.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you paid for that. With your time, with your money,
Right.
with your energy.
I've
like-
never used it as pompous. Like, no one who knew that I had a degree. Anybody here, right? No one knew that I had cancer. No one knew I had a degree. How often do you guys see me out there telling the world,
Like-
look at me, look what I have, look what I did, look what
Like if you
this.
would have come to us, that would have been
Yeah.
the first thing that we would have appealed to us. That
Yeah.
wow, you've got a degree.
Yeah.
Good.
But
That's great.
I let my work speak for itself, and if I know
Absolutely.
if I know that I'm not up to par with my degree, you know what I mean. Like, I'm a very humble person, and I only want what's deserving to me, what I worked my ass for, 100% of the time. So to be approached in that manner is just it's just idiotic. You don't deserve my time anymore. And then I leave peacefully. And those are the times where I'm like, I'm not going to talk shit about your shop at all. I never once has anybody seen me post anything on social media about any shops I've ever been to. No, I walk quietly out and I let the life take care of you. Because if you're in such a bad state where I have to leave and I'm such a good person, that just means you're not happy with your life anyways. And I'm just going to take mine out of there and just go on over here because I'm peaceful.
And I'd venture to guess some of those shops are not still standing.
No, they're still
Some of them
there,
are? Some
line
of them are?
away.
Okay.
They're still there. And hey, I'm not going to picket signs in front of their shops. I'm not going to do any of that. My clients who love me and know who I am, they have followed me. They have searched for me out. They have defended me in presence of some of the shit talking that has been done on me. And that's all I care about. Because honestly, if I don't, like I said, I'm a chosen one. God definitely takes me out of situations I don't belong in, and without explanation, and I don't question it. I just go. I just do.
Do you feel like you are more open to taking artistic risks than you would have been if you'd maybe had an easier road?
See, I don't know what that means. Easier road.
Yeah.
I've never had one.
Yeah, I know, but like so like opening your own shop, that's such a huge, leap of faith in yourself and your
Yes.
skills and your abilities to not just like do the art, but also managing a business is so much. So like, do you feel like when you have that on the table and it's like, this is a huge risk, this is going to affect me financially, it's going to affect me professionally,
Mhm.
like how do you make that decision?
I don't even think like that. The way I think is, there's no option for me to work for anyone else, and there's no option for failure. There's no option.
This is the way forward.
This
Let's
is
go.
this is the way it's going to be. This is
This
the way
is,
it has
yeah,
to
this
be.
is the path that's been
This-
put in front of me.
It has. That's what
and
I was
I'm gonna
thinking.
I'm gonna travel it.
Yeah, I was mad for maybe about 3 or 4 hours, really upset, saying all the curse words, damning him, all that good stuff, everyone. But then I turned around like, you know what? My higher power would never put me like. My entire life has been chaos. I should really write a book about it, but I can say that I don't regret anything because every single bad, and I've had some horrific bad things happen to me, but every bad thing has happened to me has led me to this chair that I'm sitting in right now.
Mhm.
And I am proud of myself. I am proud of my life.
should
I'm
be.
proud of where I've been through, and I will never regret or want to change anything about what has happened to me in my life. And that's why that brings into the conversation as to why Freak Arts Expo was my last convention. I want to do public speaking now. I want to take the energy I put into tattoo conventions. I want to take that energy and put it into public speaking.
Shut up.
I got to a point
Really?
where I would come home from a tattoo convention and I would be drained. Like, I love it. I'd have
They are
fun,
draining. Yeah.
right?
It's
exhausting.
They're loving that fun. It's family reunions, all that good stuff. But when I get home, I want to be locked away in my room for a whole day. I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm drained.
Because you're peopled out.
Yeah, for real, for sure, right? And
It's
then,
easy to get peopled out, especially in this business when this is all you do is people, and then you go to a show and it's like triple that,
Mhm.
you know, and you're just like, oh my God, just the mental overload sometimes. So I get it. It takes a day or two to literally decompress from a show.
It does.
Like, and that's tough. So I'm shocked all the same that you're gonna step away from the convention scene.
Mhm.
I
But
don't
then
know.
if that's the case, then we might as well address your last show
Yes.
and the first time that you compete,
First time.
you walk away with an award, second place best in show,
I'm so
and
shocked.
you're gonna walk away from the convention scene.
Man,
Like I did it, that's it, I'm
All
out.
the way on top. Yeah, like the big, the big belt.
Like I
that
went
the
in
wrestlers
big
leave-
and won big, and I'm walking away. That's how you do it.
Yes,
Holy shit, that's
yes.
how I roll.
I've never really had the I was like, if I'm gonna enter a piece in a competition, it has to be like, it just has to be at the top. So for me in life, it's either black or it's white. There's no gray area.
Mhm.
That's how I look at life, right? And all the conventions are always just been in the gray area, especially the type of art that I've been able to do at the conventions, you know. But this time around, it being my last one, and then the art that I had to do, it was a Puerto Rican themed tattoo, you know. So ultimately, I had no intentions on applying or submitting an award. I went into this convention just to say goodbye to the convention industry, and just to say bye. Like, I loved it. I had a great time in it. I made great relationships, friends I respect, all of that good stuff. So this is actually the cherry on top that I didn't even think I had. I was gonna get. I didn't like.
It
This
was
is,
it was
I've been
well
taking it
earned.
everywhere with me. It's gone to the bathroom here. It's right here with me. I kind of want to glue it to the dashboard of my Bronco.
You make it a hood
Bobblehead.
ornament.
Yeah, but it, like, you know, for me,
That's funny.
it's one and done. I'm complete, and I'm just, I'm definitely ready to move on for sure.
Well, can you tell us about that piece though? Like maybe the design process, the client, like how you built that together and what's important about it to you?
Yes, ma'am. So first off, I was making, my normal promotions for the show, but I got this email from a young lady, and thank you, Mike Wallace. Thank you.
Yeah, Mikey.
Yeah, the story is this young lady usually gets tattooed by a male, but this time, because it was her entire leg, she and it was Puerto Rican. She's Puerto Rican as well. She just wanted a female Puerto Rican tattoo artist. And she asked Mike Wallace, and he thought of me, and he sent her my way, and I am very thankful for it. Because as soon as she sent me her inspo, and then told me it was Puerto Rican themed, and that Mike had sent her, so I was like, this was a legit situation. I was just floored.
It was
I
meant
was
to be,
floored. It
yeah.
was definitely meant
Right?
to be,
Yeah.
for sure.
The planets aligned on that
It
one.
for sure did. And then I just been having the thought in my head. So I don't draw to the night before. For lots of reasons. One, I like the muscle memory of knowing that I spent hours on it the night before. So the next day when I'm getting in there, you know, I barely have to look at my reference and stuff like that. So, but on this piece, I was drawing it in the parking lot of the hotel.
Oh, no.
We went to the bar to go eat. Everybody chilling. I
And
am
sitting there
drawing in my.
Got your iPad by your hamburger.
Yes, that's exactly how it was going. We went back to the hotel. I am drawing, right? We went back to, no, it was actually the second day I was at the hotel because I stood with Bestie the first night. We go to Bestie's house and everybody's social. I am drawing. I put so much. I actually drew 2 different versions. Yes, I drew a version for a low budget and a version for a high budget. It was still Puerto Rico thing. I was like, this piece is not getting away from me whatsoever.
Right.
So that was the process of that. And then what else?
So can you tell us about the picture will be added into the video.
Yes.
So can you tell us about some of the specific elements and the imagery and why those are significant maybe for somebody that isn't familiar with Puerto Rican culture?
Oh, awesome.
So what are those
Yes.
pieces?
So this piece actually goes back also to some personal times in my life. So when I lived in Puerto Rico as a child, I would go visit my aunt and stuff. So there are rocks in Puerto Rico, like the island, and then there's a lot of rocks on the outside, right? Big caves. When Columbus came to the island, the Taino Indians would go hide into the caves. That's where they majority lived. And actually, you can tour these caves. If you go to Puerto Rico, mainly go to Arecibo. It is in the northern western part of the island. And they have caves you can get a little tour of. And so some of the sun on the very bottom of the tattoo is an actual depiction of what it would look like in the rocks. The sun, the way they would draw it. And then towards the top of the tattoo, there's a row of like little hieroglyphs, you know, line work. Those are all specific ones that you would find in these rocks that were carved in by the Taino people. So I love vintage and I love history. So
what were all the hieroglyphs have
different
specific meanings,
Yes, sir.
or does it mean one whole thing?
No. So there's one in there that's a twirl. It's a hurricane.
Okay.
And then you got one in there that looks like a frog, and it's a coquille, right? Coquilles are our native little frogs. Coquille, you know?
Yeah.
And then you have another one there that has a baby in a bundle. It's kind of with the curly hair. So it was the way they would bundle the baby and put them on their back. So yeah, that all told the story. Like every single one of them told the story.
Gotcha.
So yeah. And then we have the coquille in the center of the knee holding on to the sugar cane. So coquilles are very, very, like, they can be spiritual. They're everything to the island, right? And recently there was a situation on TikTok where a traveler, tourist, decided to kill one of our coquilles because it was making noise outside the window. I don't know. I never saw the video firsthand, but I saw all the complaints from all the other videos. They made a big deal about it, how this tourist went out there and started killing our coquilles. So I definitely wanted to put the coquille in the center as a statement, like this is who we are, this little frog, you know. And I put a lot into that little guy, which his name is Fernando.
Fernando.
Yep, Fernando.
Excellent.
Yes, I told her, I was like, this little guy needs a name, and her and her boyfriend came together. It was so
Fernando.
hilarious.
When we were up on stage judging, I was like, "Oh, hello, Fernando." And tough.
He's a noble representative of
I
Yeah,
totally
so-
missed that.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
I
I
totally missed
I
that.
may have said it under my breath because I didn't think.
Anybody else knew about it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a big ordeal. And then the flowers on there are the flowers, like if you drive through Puerto Rico, you'll just see them everywhere. They're just beautiful. Flor de...
Are they hibiscus?
yes, pretty
Okay.
much.
All right. That's fair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And then
So
you got the Polynesian, which was her reference. Her reference was an entire Polynesian tattoo with a couple of flowers. So all of that was my design. So yeah.
And it was even the lesser version or the more less expensive version. Was it still like large scale? Because it
was
went from like hip to
No, both of them went from hip to ankle.
Yeah.
The only thing is that one had the 2 flowers, and I want to say maybe the sun only. So the more expensive version, I put the coquille. The Puerto Rican
Right.
flag is also in there in the
That's
Polynesian
right.
style, all the way in the bottom. And then I also added the sugar cane. Yeah, I and then the hieroglyphs on the side. So
And she couldn't say no to Fernando.
She could not say no to Fernando.
Well,
You gave him a name. Like, he's family now. You can't turn him away.
No, she couldn't say no. Her parents,
awesome.
she's 18 years old, beautiful young lady. And let me
Wow.
tell you, I have never tattooed anyone with the guts this child had. She sat there, I didn't hear an ouch come out her mouth
That
one
wasn't her
time.
first tattoo, was
No,
it?
no, it
It was
was-
half sleeve on her leg for
She had,
18.
she got 3
Okay.
smaller than palm size tattoos.
Okay.
So yeah, no, this was a beast on
She
her.
jumped
Like
in
she
big.
We
went.
don't see
yeah.
a lot of half leg sleeves on
No,
18-year-olds. Like, she was committed.
No, she's wanted it for a very long time from what I
Right.
was told. And that lights my fire when I hear I've wanted this tattoo for so long and you picked me to do it on you. Like, it's an honor. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I should be bowing down to you. Like, you're letting me alter your life. What's the only other profession that people allow to put needles in them?
Yeah. Like
Doctors.
surgeons,
Well, I
others,
mean,
yeah.
you
Surgeons.
know, lead is a strong word. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that part.
You're not really letting them. They kind of have
But
to do
what
it.
we
you
do
know?
is- what we do is more fun, though.
Right?
You go to surgery because you have to.
Ours
go to
come
surgery
out.
Yeah.
usually,
Ours
so.
come out prettier scars than theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
Well,
true.
listen, yeah, they almost killed me a couple of times, so
that
I
was it.
won't kill anyone.
It was awesome to see you. I know it's like at the show. It was cool, especially to see you and Anna like side by side. You know, any opportunity you guys get, because
We do.
I mean, everybody has been so busy every now and then. So it's like to see the two of you side by side. It's like it's always kind of uplifting at these events.
Oh yeah.
And again, we had no idea. Like, I didn't realize like this was going to be kind of a whimsical goodbye, so
Yeah.
to speak.
Yeah.
You know, but
No, I had no
but
clue.
I expect-
I'm really taken by surprise over
So I'm
Yeah.
not leaving the tattoo
gonna
industry
say, you're
No,
still
no,
gonna be
she's still
around.
gonna be tattooing,
Yes,
folks.
tattooing. Oh, like I will die tattooing. Trust that. Like, y'all have to. Like, when I die, please put the machine in my hand.
Ooh, what's
Right?
what's gonna happen when you get that itch again?
yeah.
And you're just
For
gonna
the
be like, nah, I can't
Not for
do that.
convention.
Everybody's gonna be like, man, where's Candy at?
Well, when you're gonna have so many pieces to like, well, you know, it's a slippery slope. You've won.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, oh, hey,
knows?
by the way,
Do
this is
you-
what
do you
this is where
not
I've been.
just feel like that maybe next year when this rolls around, you're gonna have to like come back and defend yourself?
Like,
I don't
one
know,
exclusive
it's like
show
when
a
you're
year.
in Las Vegas and you win all this money, and then you should know when you should stop.
Get out.
You gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them. There's like a whole song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
that sort of thing.
Like,
I guess.
I was so surprised to hear you say that you love being in a quiet small town, because like
Yeah.
like meeting you, I think the first time I met you, you were wearing a unicorn onesie, and you're just like, you have an energy and a smile
Yeah.
that fills a room. Like, you're very colorful in every sense of the word.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
and so you're so vibrant as a person, but then it seems like you really value like kind of that pace also.
So that's Kandyland. That's when
Yeah.
Kandyland comes out. So when I'm vibrant and out there and rambunctious and all that stuff, that's Kandyland. And I figured out that people need that, right? It just takes a smile for someone else to catch that smile. It takes for someone to walk in a room who other people know have troubles in her life, but she comes in the room every time smiling and try to make us smile and just colorful and vibrant. I think that rubs off on other people, and I want to make as many people in my path happy as I can. I hated being upset. I hated being depressed. I've gone through some really dark times in my life, very dark times. Yes, I've wanted to take my own life, like all that good stuff. And there's so much more bad in this world than good. So when I am in Kandyland mode, yeah, I do love it. And you're going to know that I love it because I'm doing it. Trust me, I don't do anything I don't want to fucking do. Never, never. I don't care who you are or anything like that.
That's the North Phillies coming out.
I know. You got like a whole deck of accents between Chicago, Philly, Puerto Rico, Florida, and Tennessee. You just switch whichever one you need.
She's like, doop, doop, doop.
So yeah, so when I'm in my good old country accent and I'm just being all nice and it's just like, yeah, take advantage of that. I'm like, don't make me use my low voice.
So what's next for you? Because I know you said you love like helping people heal through the journey of tattooing. So like,
Yeah.
where are your dreams taking you? I know your studio is just a fresh new baby. But.
It is fresh. It is fresh. So another thing I want to do when I do these public speakings, like I can speak on all kinds of things in life. I've been through so many things in life, but one thing that I want to do in my public speaking is I want to speak on behalf of the tattoo industry. Okay. We get judged way too much. I get judged way too much. And people think of us as all kinds of things, from criminals to degenerates to devils and demons and all this bad, horrible stuff. And honestly, let me tell you, if I didn't have all this artwork on my body, someone else probably might have been dead. So, or I would have. Like, so many other bad things would have happened. I use my artwork as an outlet. I'd give you the shirt off of my back, right, if you deserved it. And that's what people don't really realize about me when they look at me. And it's just like, don't judge me. So I want to use the whole speaking in public to speak on, tattoo artists in our industry, and let them know, like, by the time I'm done with that public speaking, people are going to want to step up to you.
Yeah, because that stigma will be gone.
Yes, it will. They're going to want to come up to you and ask you, so how'd you get that one? What is that life story? It doesn't mean anything. And if it doesn't mean anything, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Like, interact with me in a conversation and get to know me and make your judges after that, not just by looking at me.
Right.
So I want to definitely do that for the tattoo industry. And that's another reason.
So then let me ask you this. You say you're done with conventions.
I'm tattooing.
You're done conventions tattooing.
Yes.
So you'll take this public speaking to shows.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to use what I learned in the tattoo conventions, and I'm going to push it over into the speaking conventions and that sort,
That would be awesome.
Yeah, because I want to speak on cancer, because people think just because they got cancer, life ends.
No, it don't.
You show that cancer who's boss. You don't. Like, people think not having parents, you should be in a ditch somewhere because you don't know any better. No, one can do that research. Do good for yourself. Love yourself. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things. Living in a hood. I lived in one of the worst housing developments that anyone could ever live in. But one day I woke up feeling shitty. I had a 4-year-old daughter who was not going to do anything but be like me. And I was like, you are not going to be like me. We're getting up. We're going.
We're going.
I gave up my $6 rent. Okay. $6
Did
rent.
you just say $6?
$6. I paid $6 rent. And I gave that up, put my daughter in the car, and I drove away from Pennsylvania to down to Tennessee. And I literally, no lie, I took that rearview mirror and I bent it. And I did not look back. I had been down in Clarksville ever since. And my daughter is now 24 years old, living an amazing life. She has no knowledge of the hood. She has
Has
no
she ever
knowledge.
come to you and said, "Hey, Mom, thanks.
Yes.
Thanks for doing that."
Yes. Yes,
Like,
she
because
has.
that's a big deal. That
Yeah.
really is. I mean, for your child to recognize what you went through to make sure that didn't happen to her
Yeah.
is amazing
Yeah.
in itself. To go, you know what? My child doesn't deserve this. I went through it. She's not going to go through it. I'm taking you away.
Yep.
And for her to grow up have the life that she has,
Mhm.
and then to be able to look at you and go, you know what, Mom, thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Because
that.
of that sacrifice
Yeah.
and that boldness.
My
right?
daughter has definitely showed her gratitude for me doing what I did. She understands a lot more now as she's an adult.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of those
She
things.
did,
that
yeah.
you can-
Right.
Yeah.
Kid.
Takes a while. I mean, it
and
took
ideally,
me decades before
Yeah,
I
no.
could sit down with my dad before he passed away and go, look, you know what? Thanks for doing all those things.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I didn't recognize it then,
Mhm.
but I do now.
Mhm.
right.
You know,
Right.
and it's
And I-
taken me a long time to get there, but I recognize that.
If you as a person have faith in that, and I have faith in my kids that they know, like, and I don't sugarcoat things, they know my past. I actually took them to the hood that I left. I took them there and I told them, this is where your mom came from, something you'll never have to experience. I wanted to stop the bad bloodline of bad parenting in my bloodline. My current children will never have to deal with anything, and my girls have surpassed that. So neither one's 24, no children. Okay, and is living her life, and then I just got a 16-year-old, no children, and I almost, my son, I got pregnant with my son at 15. He was born when I was 16, so I've already allowed them to surpass, not having to deal with anything that I've ever dealt with, and that makes me really proud that all the sacrifices that I made, because at the end of the day, those babies, I don't want them to live the way I did, feel
Right.
anything the way I did.
That's tough.
That's amazing.
No, I did everything the opposite. Like, I would seriously, there's times where I've sat there and, when you cry in private because you don't know what you're doing. And I just think to myself, I'm going to do the opposite of what was done to me. And I've approached every situation that way. And my daughters are very successful. 16-year-old is in jiu-jitsu. Yeah. She just won her first tournament.
Wow.
Yeah,
There you go.
against
That's impressive.
against a 30-year-old woman who was in it longer than her. Apparently, my daughter's a beast at the dojo, and I love that for her because I've always wanted to be in it, so I vicariously live
Yeah.
through her. And then my eldest, she is a correctional officer.
Wow.
Yeah, So either way, these are tough baddies here that are just
Right.
out in life doing what they want to do. I told them do whatever you want to do in life, as long as you're not hurting
But
nobody.
you know what? They're baddies because their mama's a
Yeah,
baddie.
you passed on your boldness apparently.
Yeah.
Like
You
again,
didn't wanna be a
you're
jujitsu cop?
You're straying. Yeah, you're straying through all
No,
of that.
I'm a street fighter. I've been street fighting my whole life. I've fought men more than
Yeah, but
women.
you could have your own movie franchise with
I
those
know, it
credentials.
sounds like an 80s movie or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Jiu-Jitsu Cop. Yeah, like,
That's hilarious.
now I want to meet your kids. I feel like you learn so much about somebody when you meet their kids.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
That's amazing.
Josh Paul met my 16-year-old. I brought her to my first convention
Uh-huh.
this time, and since it was my hoorah out, I wanted them to see me in Kandyland mode because they see me all over social media and they're very proud of my work. And my 16-year-old was like, I just want to, have fun and stuff. And she sure did. She sure did. Josh Paul the next morning, I love him. He's my booth brother. I learned so much from him, and we both took home best in show. He did first
Yeah.
place,
he-
and then
he
I
took-
got second place, and that was
Yeah.
awesome, man. I'd lose to my brother any day.
Rub off on each other.
Yeah,
It's some
exactly.
good,
Oh, I
yeah.
learned so much from him. I can always just swing over and ask him questions. If he needs something, I got him. Like, we work really well together. But my daughter wanted to be a little funny, so she slipped a drawing under his door in his hotel room. She slipped like a little Bob. He called it her Bob Ross drawing.
Uh,
I thought she literally drew a picture of Bob Ross.
but no,
Oh,
she
did she
didn't.
do like
yeah.
happy little trees though?
There was nothing happy about it.
Oh,
It's all demented and evil, I'm sure.
Scary little trees.
Yeah, there was mountains and a little grass, and then there's flying dicks in the air.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh,
So- You know,
Amy
just like
would have
Bob Ross used to
appreciated
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Flying penises.
She had a lot of fun. She had fun. We all had fun. He thought it was hilarious. And for me, like, that's that wholesome family feeling.
That wholesome, that Pompeii edition of Bob Ross.
Yeah, all that good stuff. She
Penises.
could have picked anyone else.
Right? That's
So
crazy.
is your shop called Kandyland?
Yes,
With a
damn
K.
right. Yes, Kandyland with a K. Because everybody wants to. Because if you do Google Kandyland with a C, it takes you to the board game and all those other things.
Yeah.
No, we're not. And so no, Kandyland with a K.
Mhm.
Kandyland tattoo. If you Google me, I'll come up. I'm very Googleable, which is awesome.
I'm gonna have
love
to
that.
use that term,
So,
Googleable.
I'm very Googleable. So
Yeah.
how do we find
Google
you
the
on
verb.
social media? Are you
Kandyland with a K.
Just Kandyland or
Kandyland,
Just
Kandyland tattoo, Kandyland. You can put. I'm so happy because every time I'll take someone's phone, like you meet somebody, they'll give you your phone. Hey, you just put it in here. I'll put it in, and I'll start putting Kandyland, and I'll pop up at the top. So then I'm
Yeah.
super excited. Like, yes, you can find me right
number
away.
one.
So
Yes.
are you
Oh,
on Facebook and Insta?
Yes, at Facebook, Insta, and TikTok.
Awesome.
I have Snap, but I don't use the filters for Snap. I really don't use Snap for anything else. Sometimes I like the little funny when I'm bored, your little horns filters and things like that. I use that for boredom. I don't care for Snap, but I'm too old to deal with all these damn apps, so I stick to Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. That's it. Kandyland tattoo. You can find me
Right.
across all boards for sure. And I didn't know I was Googleable until my daughter told me. I don't feel all that about myself. My daughter
Right.
was like, "Mom, do you know?" And I was like, "Oh,
It's weird. I have to say that because it is weird when you Google yourself and you pop up and you're just like, holy shit, I'm somebody.
I'm real.
I feel like Steve Martin in the movie The Jerk.
Yeah.
yes."
When he gets the phone book and he goes in there and he opens it and he goes down and he finds his name. He's like, I'm somebody.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm in the phone book.
Yeah.
It's like, so when you Google yourself, you're like, holy crap,
Yeah.
I exist. Like
Yeah.
if somebody Googled me, they're gonna, wow.
But I also wanted to take this time and this platform and this opportunity you guys have given me because I have spent almost 4 years in this industry and there are people that had helped me along the way. And I would love to say thank you to
Sure.
them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Go for it.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Shout out people.
First and foremost, Kitty Ink in Texas. She gave me my first guest spot. When I was in Florida and I sat down when I was going to start my tattoo journey, I called 2 women and I barely knew them back then. I called Kitty, Keisha, and then I called Anna, who was not my bestie at the time. And I called them and I told them what I was up to, what I was doing. And they gave me their advice. And then they said, when you're ready, come to us and we will help you as best as we can. And I went to Keisha first in Texas and she gave me my first guest spot. And I'll never forget that. She gave me my first opportunity, my first tone in there in the industry. And I will never forget that. Thank you. Thank you, seriously. And then you got Miss Anna Bridges. What can I say? She started off as a really good friend. Like I looked up to her. I look up to her now, but back then I was just like, oh my God, this powerful woman in the industry. And that's why I called her for advice, because I was so nervous. And she also said, Candy, when you are ready, you come to me and we'll see what we can do. And she's made me work for everything I've gotten. She never handed me anything. It was never about privilege. She always just believed in me, and she's always backed me up. And bestie shit aside, like, that woman right there will just give her skin to you if she fucking possibly could. All right. And I just want to put that out there. And then, Joe is always allowed, us and our shenanigans. Sorry for the morning yelling. It's just a Puerto Rican in me. Sorry. That will never change. I tend to get a little loud because me and Bessie get together in the mornings, and then he just comes and closes
He hasn't
the
even
door.
had his coffee
He's
yet.
like, yeah,
Poor
he's
Joe.
right. He's like, let me have my coffee in peace. Come on, girls.
No, I can't help it. 'Cause,
That's what
me
the
and
porch
Bessie
is for,
get
Joe. Go
together.
sit on the porch and drink your coffee.
I have never known a love like theirs. And like I said, despite of what the world will think, these two right here believed in me. They made me work for what I got. They never handed me a damn thing. When I didn't have, they fed me. They gave me a place to stay. When I was lost and I couldn't figure it out, they never judged me. They saved me, pretty much, those two right there. And I love them for that.
They're good humans.
Definitely. And then, so also, Mike Cross we always talk one-on-one about artwork, and he's always real with me. Even if I did something wrong in a piece, he will tell me the truth. And I love constructive criticism.
Mhm.
I love it. I thrive on it because I want to be better, you know what I mean, than the next one. And then you got Miss Kitty. The one who always runs the shows with us in the front. She does all the
Right,
fun stuff,
yeah.
Miss Kitty. To me, she's mama. That's mama right there. Like, I know that if I wanted a sweet mama hugs are so different from everybody else's hugs. And that lady is like the face, and everybody goes to her for that kind of stuff. John, he gave me a place to tattoo here in Springfield. I want to thank him as well. Lena, anybody and everybody that, brightened up when I came around. That means a lot to me, because I had such a hard life that I cherish those things. When you're brightened and you see me, I know you love me, and that I cherish those things, love for me goes a very, very long way. And if I say I got you, then I got you. Yes, I want to say thank you to everybody who believes in me. And the ones who didn't believe in me, just keep not believing in me. You're fueling me. You're giving me
feed that fire.
yeah, you are fueling me, and I really can care less what you think, so seriously.
Kandyland, it was awesome to have you.
Thank
I
you
mean,
very
it's been a
much.
while
Thank you.
coming. It worked out really well that you had a little bit extra time.
Yes,
It was
yes.
kind of
It won't be the last time we
No,
have
it
you.
won't.
No,
For
oh my
sure.
God, I would love to come
For
back.
sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
so I can really give you like detailed stories of different parts of my life.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you're
Um,
back in, just give us a heads up. Well,
like-
the door's
Yeah,
always open for
always
you. It's
open.
always
Yeah,
cool.
and if we're in your
Always,
neck of the
always,
woods,
Yes.
like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go look up your shop now. I want to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
pictures
Yes,
of it.
yes, yes.
I bet it's yeah.
But thank you guys so much for having me on here. I
Thank
would
you,
love to
Candy.
come back again. You guys are so much fun.
Please do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you
Please
so
do.
much.
Yeah.
Next time, your place.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hit up.
Way to travel to you.
Let's go! Oh my God!
That would be
All right, buddy.
crazy.
Kandyland. Hit her up. Google it.
Candyland
She's
with a
Googleable.
K.
With a K.
Googleable.
Yeah.
Kandyland with a K. Peace out.